That's tomorrow. That's it for today. Whatever it is, it's not right there on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. I can't read it. There's no words on it. There's no words there. The play us out. What does that mean? The play us out. I don't know what that means. The play us out. Then the show. Go. That's tomorrow. That is it tomorrow. And we will leave you with. I can't do it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. And we'll do it live. The fucking thing sucks. That's it tomorrow. And we'll leave you with Sting or cut off his video. I'm Ken O'Reilly. Yeah, that's right. All my life, waiting for somebody. Come and take my hand. All my life, waiting for somebody. Whoa, yeah. Down for so long. Doesn't really matter. The downtown home been kicked and I've been spurred. You come along, doesn't really matter. I'm going alone, doesn't even hurt. All my life, waiting for somebody. Oh yeah. All my life, waiting for somebody. Oh yeah, whoa yeah, all my life, waiting for somebody. Oh yeah, I'm waiting for the day that you come my way. Hey, I've been drove down deep. I made a big decision. I'm going to sleep. I'm going there alone. I know damn well I'm tired of all this crying. On my feet, so fast as I can tell. I'm waiting for the day that you come my way. Somebody, oh, waiting for somebody. Oh, how, for somebody. Oh, how. I'm waiting for somebody. Waiting for somebody. Waiting for somebody. Hey. Hey. That's right.
I mean, some of these podcasts that you watch, Ross Dog Network, literally, they should have bullets in their heads.
Hello, douche. Can he know you? Yeah, that's right.
Friday night, what you gonna do? Say you go. Grab a bong, grab a beer. It's time for Kenny Show. Kenny, on the corner. You might be Kenny. You might some yeah. It's time for the Kenny Show. He don't say much, but you will never know what you might see, what you might hear. There's only one tonight to remind him he's a queen.
Paul looked down and come over with the overhand right.
Wow.
Right on Tyson's nose. Good shot.
Good overhand, right? Yeah, that's right. Yes, indeed. Good overhand right. You knocked me right out.
Kamala wouldn't have this conversation. She can't because she's not
No.
smart. You know, she's not a smart person, by the way. She can't have this conversation. And Biden, we don't even have to talk about it.
Sorry to do that. What the hell is the point of an intro if they took your entire wide fucking screen, turned it into fucking thimble? What the fuck? You can't see the images. The videos you can barely fucking see. The hell is this? I don't fucking know. It's like, what the fuck are they doing over here? I think now StreamYard teamed up with Google to frustrate the creator so much. It's like, wow, why the fuck is just my face showing up in the middle of a screen that's really this fucking big? I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Fucking pricks. Yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to end with the new cool outro. It's like, wow, we work our ass off to make this fucking thing that we think that the fans love and you love making. And then whoever runs these things just fucks it up. Like, thanks. Really, thanks a lot, man. Don't complain about that because what the fuck is the point? You can't do anything. Like, you try and make progress and you just fucking push you right back down the hill. Oh, thanks for the fucking push. Freaking faggots. I don't mean people that flag channels. Wow. I hope before somebody dies, before you die, if you don't die of natural causes, and they get you Google people, and they're like, oh, this is what you get for censoring, for working with StreamYard to just frustrate, knocking people's accounts off for no reason. Yeah, this shovel, for the next 2 months, I'm just going to beat the living hell out of you with it every day. Anything else I want to do? Oh, you got tased? Sorry about that. Oh, not my fault. Maybe you should have never been an elitist prick. Think about it. People might be telling people that run all that one day, oh, we're sorry. Not sorry. All right, let's talk about let's get to the point. The worst punks of all time. Let's go right for number one and start with him. Why build up to it? Allen, Gigi Allen, Jesus Christ Allen. That was his name when he was born. Definitely not anything like Jesus Christ. Right. Hey, a punk like him would never be allowed in the scene. The scene people in them days did stuff like grade robbing, like the Orange County crew. Criminal, sure. Credit card stealing like the Boston crew. Putting a ski mask on. I'll get to Mr. Allen a bit. And, putting ski masks on, having crowbars in their hand like the New York City guys, and robbing the angel dust dealer. Criminal, but not on Mr. Allen's level. He's a pedophile. that all that's pale compared. Yeah, absolutely pale compared. Was arrested over 50 times. No, I mean, maybe it's bad behavior to shoot heroin and then fuck some slut that thought you're the cool guy on stage. But that's like the story of every rocker that ever rocked, pretty much, when stuff like illicit coke and heroin was available. That's just like how it rolls for people on stage. That's naughty behavior. It's sort of bad. It's not the worst. Well, there's worse. And it's before it was a battlefield. Oh, probably on the way to a club, there might have been some trouble. Like, your fucking wallet. My knife's bigger than yours. No, you. Well, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Possible situation. right? Because it was the Lower East Side, and near Manhattan, it was the most dangerous area. 7, 9 in Brooklyn, way more dangerous, like double more dangerous. Biggest spot in all the city, any borough, for homicides by police dying, and civilians too. So it wasn't a good place to be for anybody, whether you had a uniform on or just walking the street. Bad idea to be anywhere in there. Yeah, you're in a punk rock band. Of course you're going to be a bad boy, especially the singer. These guys that step off stage, first come, first serve. Singers get all the fucking pussy. And then it goes on down the line. Like, I really like your guitar licks. Your riffs are amazing. That's probably the next guy. And then the way you beat the Skins, you could pound me in the same fashion today. That's the way that guy goes. It goes with the lure. These guys didn't step on that stage not to get laid. Definitely did not. Well, it depends what kind of drummer. Look at guys like Tommy Lee with that spinning drum riser and all that. He kind of was a star. In a way, they all kind of were in a way. Vince was the singer, the outright star. Then you got the major songwriter, Six. Then you got the original member, Mick. Right? And then you got the guy with the spinning drum set. Seems like in a way they were all stars. Right? That's that group. Not really here to talk about that. In some cases they are. And look at like Kiss, like Peter Criss came off the drum, sang Beth. Looked like the star in that moment for that single. He is the star. There you go, man. Some people take a bowed approach at it. And they come off their instrument. All of a sudden, right in the spotlight they be for that song. So sometimes these drummers are just in the spotlight for one song. Well, that was a major freaking hit. All right. Let's see. You see why Alan wasn't in a scene being creepy like him. He put right on. I don't have to play the footage because Jerry Springer's probably copyrighted to hell. Right. Even if you're saying commentary over it. Don't want to risk it. He said it right on the show. I like all kinds of girls. 18, 19, 20, 16, 15, 17, 18. Right in there. It slips so quick that you may not even spot it unless you're paying attention. Right. You got like under 18 right in there. If you pay attention, you might not even notice. I don't know about that, Paul Stanley, but some guys look worse. You think that's bad? Look at Sebastian Bach. He looks fucking terrible. I mean, Paul doesn't look that bad. Compare him to the way Bach looks. He looks fucking awful. The worst. Well, we're not really here to talk about those guys. What was brought up? Right. I hear Merrill Allen, one of the members of the Murdy Junkies, the guy now running it, Gigi's brother. I'll turn that light off because of the lip thing. It'll be a little dark. Yeah, that looks normal. Ooh, no light anymore. Right. I heard, I've met, I know people, have known people, old friends that hung out with him. And he's like salt of the earth. Total peach. Absolutely totally different than Gigi. I think Gigi's older. But I don't know. Merrill could be an older brother. Somebody that gave Mr. Gigi guidance. Right. None of us condone what he did, but he's all the way a punk. Gigi was the Greek god from hell. Well, Zeus and all that, they couldn't all come from heaven. Right. Most of them, if
that they were all actually real, and some of them may not even have been real. Right. Definitely the one from hell was definitely real. He re-emerged the spirit in a human. So he was definitely real. I don't know if Zeus was real. He never came back inside a living human. So we don't even know. That could have been just an absolute myth, made up total. And Dionysus, the orgy god, definitely real. Morrison was the epitome of Dionysus. Yeah, he was the modern day living version of him. Well, let's see, Mr. Dionysus liked to fuck a lot. Yeah. Well, you know, these orgy gods, that's kind of their thing. Oh, so did Mr. Morrison. Yeah. Let's see. The Greek god Dionysus liked to drink a lot. Hey, so did Jim. There you go, man. And they kind of went out the same way, drank themselves to death. Hey, they got that in common too. That's true. But in a sense, I'm not saying he was the worst. Morrison had that attitude. In fact, him and Zappa and that great book, We've Got the Neutron Bomb about LA Punk. Identify those two people. That's the first two people to kind of have that attitude in the world of LA. Yeah, they kind of did. Hating on hippies. It's a very punk rock thing. Yeah. On a daily basis, Zappa would play shows ripping on them. He would make albums, cracking all over them. Yeah, he did do that. Yeah. Yep. Moore says that 5-1 song, dressing down the hippies. Oh, yeah, totally punk stuff. Oh, yeah. He does have that. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so those are some of the best examples early on in the world of LA for punk. We're still talking about Mr. Allen. Forget about his creepiness for a minute. Put a pin in that. Put it over here, right? Okay, his performances were like therapy. So he would shit right on the stage, roll around in it. He would have shit and piss in bags and he'd throw at you. If he wanted to in his therapy, he'd freaking headbutt you. Yeah, it was a whole freaking thing. Yeah. He oftentimes would be naked. Yeah. Whopping around his uncircumcised dick. Mr. Allen wasn't good looking either. He was extremely ugly. But punk as hell. Oftentimes his bad and disgusting behavior. Oh, he didn't talk about his creepiness in songs. Would be elevated in songs. Some of his songs are really fucking disgusting. In other ways. Right. You'd have to browse his catalog to really find out. In the end, musically, forget about what he is, creep and all that. I didn't know at the time until I found out later when I watched the fucking interviews. Right. In the end, he got too hardcore for me. Yeah, towards the end of the 90s, there's examples like Slaughterhouse Deathmatch, way too fast. Lyrically and musically for my taste. I like him musically at the start. Right, that cover he did, Love Tunnel. Never heard the original. That's like some of the best music he put out. And that acoustic record too. But that's early. I don't know about the acoustic record, but most of that stuff is early. Later stuff, like probably my favorite song besides Love Tunnel is Gypsy Motherfucker. Yeah. And you hear a guy that hates his fucking guts dress him down and go, I'm going to see you. I'm going to beat the fuck out of you. Right. Already there's a guy in the intro threatening to kick the living shit out of him. This shows you how much a piece of shit he was as a human. Oh, yeah. In the intro, there's a guy that hates him. And he's telling you all about what he's going to do if he ever sees Gigi Allen again. Yeah, Most likely an answering machine message. Yeah. They didn't have cell phones then. But this is a message in a man's answering machine that this guy hates his fucking guts. It's a testament to who he was. Yeah. Maybe that guy has kids and it went there. Yeah, they went to his show and he tried to rape the guy's daughter or something. I don't know. I wasn't there. But whatever pisses this guy off could be related to that. Or it's just maybe he'd been to the show and a bag of shit got thrown right at him, or actual shit. And he's mad about that. They saw Gigi Allen walking around one day. It wasn't just, it was his therapy on stage. The battle lines were off the stage too. Maybe he ran into him one day and shit got, and there was a beef. It could be that or all that or a little bit of it. Who knows? Whatever it was, he pissed this guy to fuck off. That's the intro to why I consider his best song ever. He did do a song, I think, with Dee Dee called, or Johnny. I forget which Ramon. One of those guys called Bite It, You Scum. That's up there too. That's a testament to it too, man. Yeah. Oh, there's this great movie that Todd Phillips put out. The Hangover guy. Called his student film called Hated. In the Nation. You get the idea. I can see why he's hated. Being a creep, throwing shit and piss at people, headbutting people. Yeah, I can see why people hate him. It's all in the freaking film. Why he's hated. All right, sorry to do this. I got pissed. I'll try and line something up. It's always tuned into when I go to YouTube, a backup channel, because all the videos will be out there. Yeah, that's right. And let's see. Videos. Yeah, anything fucking quick. All right. Oh, I showed that last time. Quick. Like fucking 9 minutes. Do the intro again. All right. It's a premiere trailer that's supposed to happen in December from a year ago. So last December, you've probably seen it. Enjoy. It's 2 minutes. I'll be back. Hold on. I got a piss. I got to line the fucking thing up. Okay. Pause. Yeah. Sure. For my kidney bus. Okay. Enjoy this thing you've seen. It's just a trailer for last year. All right. It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights on the Ken TV show, on the Ken TV Puppet Show tonight. Yeah! All right. Funny frog. That was a great art show, but man, did that music suck. Shut up, Mouse. What the hell do you know about music? He was just bullshitting, not being the truth. Music was amazing. Good choices, Ken. Yeah, that's right. Yuck, 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 yuck. Lock that down, no you. Yeah, that's right. I don't remember us bringing any loser, but because my friend didn't want to be on my wife. Turn the light on over here. Because they don't like puppet shows. I know you guys want that, but even I couldn't even see the puppet. They've rendered that useless. Fucking pricks. It really pisses me off that they did that. I don't know why they did that. They had to do that. It sucks. It really does. Man, I'm gonna send them feedback and see what they think. That they're gonna piss a lot of fucking creators off that we have to be in this fucking middled fucking corner they put us in. Ridiculous. It's all hell. Okay. What if somebody comes on? Now we have to share the space. The second person came on for a minute. I mean, or now you have to have that, and then you got barely any room anyways, and you had all this wide space before. What if like 4 people come on or something, or 3? That's like there's barely any space for anyone. And there's all this freaking wide space before. Now all of a sudden, you're in a box. They're the ones that are putting you in a box. All right, we talked about the creep Mr. Allen for quite a bit. More bad punks. Okay, that people probably know about, and they're all glad he's on the scene. These fucking pricks, pieces of shit, live amongst the scene in plain sight. Nazis! Yeah, I don't know the whole story, but Nazis paid Mr. Rollins and Weaving, among others, money to ruin the scene. Certainly ruined the LA hardcore scene. It was diverse, very female friendly too. Then that macho shit came right in, you know. Nazis ruined everything. It's all true. Yeah, the person that told me about this in recent days was in that scene. She was, and saw it all for herself. And her point was, and she told me anybody that became a star. When he was in movies. Yep, he was on SNL. Yeah. He's friends like John Belushi. So yeah. Henry became very successful. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. And lots of other people. That's not cool. I heard Mr. Rollins, and I don't have any proof, but you know, people say usually women don't lie. And this person that I talked to is a woman. So there you go. I hear he's an absolute terrible piece of shit person, a serial rapist. That's not cool. I don't have any proof that back that up, but you know, why would somebody that's in that scene lie? I don't know. I don't think she would. Sounds terrible. Well, in a sense, you get a clue to how terrible he is through his writings, and that's a liar. He's already said he's a liar. He wants you to be just like him, a piece of shit liar. That should have said a clue that there's probably more terrible behavior below the surface that he doesn't want you to know about. Ooh. Yeah, like raping and all that. He should have taken a page from Jack Grissom. Grissom was unafraid to tell the world. In them days, my thing that seemed was I was a rapist. Came right out and told you. Didn't hide nothing. Seems like he's a real man. This Henry Rollins guy is a coward, not telling anybody of your crimes. Oh, because he probably still does it. Oh, yeah, probably. And not even telling the world you were brought by Nazis, right? You know, some people are real men and they got guts and they just come right out and confess their crimes. Other bad behavior. I mentioned the Boston crew stole credit cards, so that's somewhat bad behavior. Put a pin in that. I mean, well, in a way, I'm not condoning that any of that stuff is cool. Nazis ruining a scene. 25 years ago came back. So that's one good thing about time. I met some bands that I met a band from playing the Battery Electric in New York on night that had a all-star lineup, My War, as an after show. Because I didn't like any of the bands past the second band that did the regular set. So My War wasn't attached. Never been there. I would have never seen that California band. Yeah, I don't know why they weren't a closer, because all the closer people like to fucking scream and not say anything, not have actual fucking vocals. It's a big mess. Really, the people with the great vocals are the first two bands. Amazing hardcore bands. I don't know why they weren't closing, because some people don't know how to book the thing. I can see why the Californians weren't closing, because they ain't from New York. Yeah, that's how it goes. And they weren't well known. They were like from 30 plus years ago. Oh, yeah, they would have been the headliner. But they're not. That's the thing there. The screamers that made me leave the room. But one guy made me stay, because I love that guy. Our favorite Misfits records are the same record. He's the guy, if you've seen clips of him, he's the guy who's always wearing a Static A shirt. Every show, that shirt. Well, you know, at least he's never changing, always the same, and doesn't show up with like some stupid, boring outfit. You always expect him to wear the Static A shirt, and he always does. Oh, you know, maybe that's his all-time favorite punk album. It could be. Wait for the shirt. Possibility. I don't know. But I agree with him. Best Misfits record ever made. It is. So Grave Robin is pretty bad. That was the Orange County crew. But you know, in a way, it was no holds barred in them days. Pretty much. People were kicking your ass for having blue hair, and you were fed up. And things got quite drastic. And you were out for war. Nobody was accepting punks yet. And so you're like, oh, it's all out war. Fuck them and their families and the dead people. Screw them. They can go to hell. That's what the attitude was. I hear it, man. People are kicking your ass for just dyeing your hair pink. Fuck everyone. Yeah, that's right. It's only pink hair. It's not normal. Oh, you want respect for your for your graves? Go to hell. That's the way they work. He's not out there. There could be double gangers all over the place. And Jennifer's married, so almost. So yeah. Now you're doing her delusional work. Don't make me put you in timeout. I'm kidding. I know you're playing around. Okay, forget about bad behavior and criminal type stuff. All right, the bad bands. I said the worst punks. Let's go with the worst punk bands since we're rating the worst punks. Okay, before the deal, 1990, I heard Fat Mike and his crew, the NoFX, were pretty fucking great. And then 6 years later, the deal, dog shit on fire. Yeah, I looked through the catalog. I could only find that ska punk song and the one with Iggy. Only two songs I ever liked. Wish I saw him open up for Gorilla Biscuits in 90. 2 whole years before I entered the scene. Yeah. I guess I wasn't ready. Because people have said, oh yeah, they're fucking great then. That's before there's a deal. And all that. So we're rating the worst. There's even worse than NoFX. Hawthorne Heights. Oh, gross. So I don't say when someone says, "You want to listen to No Facts?" No thanks. I don't go, ew. So there's worse. There's absolutely worse. That is true about her. I'm with that. I second that. So yeah. No effects. It's great compared to Hawthorne Heights. They are god fucking awful. They stink. They're like the worst punk band of all time, practically. No effects just suck. They're not the worst of all time. The Heights, Hawthorne Heights, they got to be way up there. Good Charlotte, way up there too. Yeah, absolutely fucking bullshit is what that band is. Since I mentioned the worst, I can, of the punk bands that made pop punk, one of the best, one that had a name, once had a name, Green Day. Sure, they went beyond punk. Right. Overall, they have a great fucking sound. But even for the punk days, never sucked. Right. Not even for 1 second. Same thing with Rancid. So I've talked about two of the best. Not even a dull moment. The Real Popular album and the album. They were great. Even the comeback record. They made a record after quite a long time. That was great too. They ruled. Any band he's in, solo career is great. Operation Ivy, amazing. I might like them a little bit more than Rancid, but not all areas of a person's career are created equal. It's all true. But everything he did was awesome. Tim Armstrong, amazing guy. Great fucking label, Time Bomb Records. Fucking cool. I love it. All right, let's move on. Fall Out Boy, never a fan. I would still say that's probably pop punk. Yeah. Let's see who else. Same person, no caller ID. Oh, got the caller. Wait, they can't call now. Dang. Thanks, Sean. I guess your attempt to call me has failed. Yeah. Yeah. I would say nothing is bad. I don't always like the people. I'm not always ready for the people that made the combination of punk and industrial. These would most likely be, well, know you. These would be the Scratch Acids, the Big Blacks of the industrial music world. It's cool. I'm just not always in the mood. So sometimes it's bad for me. But I prefer that over the machiney, fucking annoying fucking industrial where there's no vocals at all. You're like, there goes the fucking prick that thinks we can call him. That's a shame. With no call ID. Maybe you need to get some call ID and stop hiding. It could be the original Rex, who was my barely a stalker, but he wasn't it. No, I mean sometimes the machininess of it gets to me, and it gets a little too hard. The machining. So. Know you. And I mentioned that band that you called the Gay Slur as you ran away. Oh, right, probably the worst punk band of all time. They were terrible. Every punk band, if they opened up for them, if they were the opener, after the show, would beat the shit out of them with their guitars. They won't even need their hands. This is how weak and beta they are. They're betas. Yeah, Iggy Pop, old Iggy Pop will beat the shit out of those guys. And he's old. Young Iggy Pop would too. And they're like, we can kick this old man's ass. Next move. An old 77-year-old man, put your weak asses in the fucking hospital. Dang, son. I can barely walk. That guy's old. Damn it. But he probably wouldn't fight anybody. But yeah, he could go. Oh, man, I didn't really have to hit him. My bass player broke his bass beating the shit out of those pussies. You know, that's probably what would happen. And he's pretty younger than me, but, you know, I put in a couple fucking punches. Yeah. That's right. Think of worse things in the world of punk. Okay. I'm not saying this is bad. Imagine if there wasn't another band that Gwar was going into because they're a punk band. Then worst case scenario, there'd be no band pouring fake blood on people wearing these giant outfits. So then people would be like, that punk band, the Gwar, they kind of suck. People might be saying that if they didn't go on stage with another band directly, become a second band after the punk set was over. Just imagine if that never happened. Then they might be on the list of sucky punk bands, right? Yeah, so be glad that the thing people kept on wanting more of and coming back for was the metal band from outer space that they became after being a punk band on stage. Be glad they didn't want to pursue the first band. Right. Then they might be on. Not so. I'll list the average bands that aren't so great, but sometimes they're great moments. The B.E.E.S.T.E.E. boys, when they were the ones we didn't know of. Right. This is why they stopped making hardcore. They weren't that great at it. I mean, they're all right. They had a few good numbers, but nothing that special. That's why, yeah, you should always be a hardcore band. Right. It wasn't like that. Yeah. Most that come up average and sort of suck. For the most part, try and get something, do something else, like the Beastie Boys or Dinosaur Jr. They're a hardcore band called Deep Wound. I think we're all glad they formed another band, came back as another band, and made different music. Just imagine if there's just an average hardcore band called Deep Wound that I probably would never see them. I don't know. Maybe if they're open up for like Murphy's Law, maybe. Right. I saw them on the street at a free festival in New York City for free, but their set was so great. I would pay money for that. Sure. It's fantastic. Yeah. When they did the Jesse Malin benefit, I forget his name, but the guy from Dinosaur Jr. came on and played a Dinosaur Jr. song. Right, Freak Scene. Yeah, not everybody at that benefit played a Jesse Malin song. Jesse knew that, all right, he's the guy from this band. People know what they want to hear. Same thing with the guy from Counting Crows. He could play the Jesse Malin song. They're all pretty fucking awesome. Most of them are. But Jesse knew. We got to hear Long December. Yeah, it's a must with that guy Adam. It's a have to. Yeah. I mean, your songs are superbly awesome, but yeah, it's just a have to. Yeah, that's just the way things are. All right, trying to think of bad punks. I've met some bad punks, bunch of fucking a-holes. So they're not cool. Not saying they're creeps or anything like that, or just horrible people like Rollins. No, they're just fucking dickbags. You meet one, you'll meet more. Yeah. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to tell anybody in the scene, but there's a cunt. Not saying she's a cunt to everybody. She's just a fucking cunt to me. Because it's a family, I just deal with it. Her cock blocking me with her girlfriends and all that. Yeah. I just be a cunt. But I just roll off. If it was like outside the scene, I keep on running into her at Body Count and other shows, and she's being a fucking cunt, then I'm just gonna fucking go right up to her and go, "Why are you always being a cunt? Oh, you don't like that word? You're the one being it. Are you gonna get all fucking mad and cry in the fucking corner because I'm calling you out for what you're behaving like? It's not like this is a scene. This is just a show, and I run to you at all these shows, and every time you give me the dirty look and the fucking cold shoulder, and I don't even find her attractive. She's just being a fucking cunt." Right. You think I find you attractive? I don't go up to you for that. You know people I know a little bit. What's wrong with being civil? No, you gotta be kind. But I'm not gonna make an issue about it. Just like I caught somebody at a bad moment. The Charlie Kirk thing just happened. And I mentioned it. Well, I didn't exactly know. And they're transgender and they didn't have anything nice to say. I didn't go there. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, I didn't go there because the scene is a family and that's not cool to bring up. I just let it go. You know, like an adult does. I did. I didn't cause any fucking problems. A later day, the problem with me hanging out and everybody's backstage. They're like, "You're supposed to be here," and I'm like, "This is everybody's backstage." The backstage of the actual stage, that's friends and family and people that work here. Friends and family of the band and the band people. Right. That's the private backstage. If you're on the stage, work at the club, or are a good friend and a family member of people that performed, you can go to that backstage during the show. Once the show is over, it's just another freaking room that people are hanging out in. It could turn into another show because the hardcore things are matinees. Then it's pretty much time to leave. But sometimes it doesn't, and then it's just another room. That's the way that goes. I'd say, hold this against them. The people you might want to stay away from, they're not really off to cause violence. Bad. There's always the bad apple. The arms flaring everywhere. They're always a tent. You know, that's the person you might want to step back from. Is all for your own safety, because they got the fucking arms flaring everywhere. They don't help, but you know, this is the way they are in the pit. And there's always that one person, arms flaring freaking everywhere. Not very safe, but yeah, this is who they are. As long as that one. Yeah, it's somewhat dangerous behavior in a way. Not very cool, but you know, that's just the way things are. They're always there. They come in forms of male and female, black and white. They're all different shapes and sizes of the arms flaring everywhere person. And if it's like staged real well, you don't have any room to slam dance, go right ahead, flare your arms in all different directions. You're moshing. You really don't have room for proper slam dancing. And they had a high stage at like the last in front of Rebelmatic, and I started to dance. They didn't notice me. They're opening up for Jizza. So I'm like, I'll show them how to go around in a circle. And when I'm going around a circle, I do this. That's the HB strut. You kind of strut out. And some were picking up There's only about 3 to 5 people at a time in that circle. Right. If that, probably 3 the most. And then, of course, the arms flaring guy doesn't want to go in the direction of the circle. And I'm like, don't stand in the freaking way. You're going to keep on getting pushed. You're going to flare your arms out and shit. Just flare them in that direction. Come on. You came and dance in the circle, the direction it's going. Come on, man. Then get out of the freaking way. I couldn't maintain it for all their set either. And it was the first one. So it was the shortest set of them all, right? After like 5 songs, I took a breather. I cooked it up by the end too, a little bit after that. Right, so there's the bad dancer. It just doesn't go in order even when a circle pit comes about. Yeah, so there's the bad dancer, the arms out person. Male or female, doesn't matter. There's always the arms out. Doesn't listen to doesn't dance in an organized way because that's what slam dancing is supposed to be. Right. Wants to just pick any direction to dance in and mosh. Like, that's a metal thing. I'm trying to explain this to this person in between songs. That's a metal thing. It's fucking chaos. Slam dance is organized. That's why there's a circle. 2 more acts, and everything else was hip hop. There's another rapper opening up for GZA. Right. He was I used the DJ guy, so it was hip hop and rap. GZA does straight hip hop. Right, has a backing band. That's when you're in another level. Right, you have the DJ and all that. That's the beginning of your career. Pretty soon you'll be like, nah, I need a band. That's when you just want to do straight up hip hop. Well, you have to be versed in hip hop to know the difference between hip hop and rap. It's a slight difference. Not much. But being able to tell the difference between hard rock and heavy metal and straight up fucking metal, there's a slight difference. There is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some can't tell. They don't know their Alice Coopers from their Megadeths. Right. And some know. All right, volume all the way down, scroll all the way through the comments. Oh, fuck is this? Where's the crowd? Fuck is that? Let's just scroll back. Okay, it was right on the pit. Can be done. Pinned there on the screen doesn't go to the top. Oh, it's pinned right there, no matter what. Beautiful. All right, now it's pinned. No, you. Well, you may be surprised by this, but the BEEDEE boys, all Jewish. Yeah, all Jewish. And they weren't straight into hip hop. They and the hardcore people hanging out uptown and downtown in Brooklyn at the hip hop clubs, intermixing among punks before hardcore and hardcore people at the hip hop places is what caused rock meeting hip hop. That's exactly what caused it. All of them. Adam Yak, Mr. Horowitz, Mr. Diamond, all of them. I don't know if every member of the original hardcore band was. I don't know what Kate, the drummer's background is. I have no idea. Possibly, possibly not. It was a big scene. I have no idea. She was the original drummer. Mike was the original lead singer. And Yak was the original bass player. Right. And Mr. Horowitz was not in the district. I think Mike played guitar. Yeah, pretty soon all that flowing down the pipe. Pretty soon a well-known band that had some records decided to step up and go, yo, we're doing pretty well. This is going to be our big album, Raising Hell. We checked out that song, Walk This Way. Pretty dope, man. Then they decided to do their own version. Aerosmith is like, doing a version of our song? We got to be there, man. We got to be on that shit. Hell yeah. That even furthered it. And you're going to stuff like Public Enemy and Anthrax. Sure that Anthrax got the stupidest fucking idea in the history of their band. Hold on, you think you could do your own hip-hop song now? What the hell is wrong with you? That's a no. You didn't see any of the other rock bands try and do that. They collaborated with people that they didn't try their own hip-hop song. So new. What's the point of that? We're not hip-hop artists. Anthrax learned the hard lesson. You're not either because you suck. All this will most likely definitely lead to new metal, Korn, Deftones, Limp Bizkit, all that. A death metal and thrash metal band called Sepultura stepping in. And that group is the reason why it became a full genre. Yeah, they did Bloody Roots. And now they're just not death and thrash anymore. They're new metal too. And they bring all three sounds to their concerts. Just when I'm getting bored with all the thrash and death, I'm like, Bloody fucking Roots. Yeah! It all changed again. Awesome. That's interesting. All right, more Bad Punks. Okay. I don't know if the guy was a punk, but he's a bad, terrible fan. And Pantera members are related to punk in a sense because they did a little thrash. The assassination of Dimebag Darrell. Worst fan ever. Hands down. Worst fan ever. The guy that murdered him. Worst fan ever. Yeah. I hope when he got to prison, somebody murdered him. Fuck that guy. Yeah. Hope he got shivved right in the fucking neck. That guy doesn't deserve to live. Nope. But I hope he suffered for a while too. Maybe he got shivved in the side of the chest, then right in the freaking neck a while later. Yeah. Who does that? Crazy fucking fans. Just like the guy killed Lennon. Never get out. Mark David Chapman. That's the guy, right? Fucking piece of garbage that guy is. Crazy pieces of shit fans. Take our heroes away. Yeah, they do. So that guy, if he's a punk, whoever he was, the guy who killed Dime, he's a bad fan. Bad punk if he was one. Definitely bad metal fan. Terrible. All right. Other bad fans or bad punks. Let's see. Anybody says that just because you're in a punk band and you have a hit record, get this fucking infantile notion out of your fucking head. Punk was about freedom. What doesn't matter where your song is on the fucking charts or how big your record is. Doesn't. So I don't know if they're bad punks thinking that. They're just not being cool. Trust me, every one of the original punk bands wanted to be successful. Every single. And everybody in the scene too. Yeah, they're most wanted to be heavy metal bubblegum. As in combining heavy metal and bubblegum pop. They kind of sort of accomplished that. They played as fast as metal, but maybe not as heavy. Right, outside of them New York Dolls and them Stooges, every influence was pop. Yeah, pretty much. So what did you expect their sound to really be? Overall. Yeah. It was eventually going to become really poppy. But you got to ride with these guys if you're a fan. And maybe become a fan of pop music. I mean, look at the chord progression for Blitzkrieg Bop. It's the same as that chord progression for Bay City Rollers. Saturday Night, oh, same as that. Same as that. Absolutely stealing chord progressions from pop songs. Feeding it right in there. Right. I guess the Bay City Rollers were so caught up in the fame they didn't copyright chord progressions, but technically you can't. Unless you're on like fucking Elton John's level. Maybe. But Bay City Rollers were kind of new, so they weren't immersed in it. Right. Yeah. But, you know, every 100 years, I'm not saying 100 years pass between two songs, they're both out near the same time. Everything's public domain. I'll give you one example before I get back to Bad Punks. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. That was split backwards. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Beethoven's Fifth, 100 plus years later, Smoke on the Water. Yeah, Richie Blackmore explained it in an interview clip that I saw on X one day. Really? That does make sense. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. It's right there. It's just backwards. Well, yeah, he's dead for quite a long time at that point. And in his time, people thought Beethoven, the genius, was insane. So people in his time weren't going to recognize it as true genius. Might as well be in our time. Yeah. Well, you know, the most brilliant people in history, sometimes in the time that they're alive, people think they're absolutely out of their fucking minds. They die. Some point later, oh, that guy was fucking brilliant. Or whoever they were. That poet, she was fucking phenomenal. Brilliant. Genius in her time. But in her time, they thought her or the guy was fucking nuts. And they couldn't see the brilliance. That's right, man. Some people, they become extremely influential and famous quite a long time after they die. That's true because people are more focused on art then, and there's more artists in the world, and people go on and Like people like Leonard Bernstein become famous as conductors, and they go, "Oh yeah, one of my major influences was Beethoven." When he goes to interview and shit, and then it's like people thought that guy was insane. You know, it's insane. That guy's fucking genius, and they thought he's insane. That's the thing that's insane, right? Or let me think of bad punks. I can think of a punk that had bad teeth. Wyden. Mr. Rodden, Johnny. Bad teeth. As a band, they did bad things. Maybe some people deserved it. Because Mr. Rodden said once, Johnny said, "I'm not into music, I'm into chaos." Says it right there. So that's kind of bad for anybody that books them. Bad for anybody that books them on a show, giving the guy that runs the show the finger. Tell him to fuck off. Right. But you know, they didn't really care. So he's into chaos. Destroying the Queen's Jubilee. Well, that's not going to be good for business, but once again, we really cared about chaos. It was good for chaos, not so good for everyone else. Right. So that's some bad behaving punks. The bad behaving is in the world of bad punks. Right. I can't say he's a bad punk, but Mr. Vicious was in a bad situation. I don't think he killed Nancy, but I think it was. He woke up, drug dealer was there. There's a big thing like, "You owe me money. What the hell's going on here?" Then Sid left to get the money or something. He goes, "Oh, you're not going to get my money. I'm going to kill this bitch." She's dead. He leaves. And then Sid gets blamed. Drug dealer ain't around anymore. You know, they're drug dealers. They're criminals anyways. They don't care if they murder somebody. Had gloves on. My prints ain't on the knife. And then Sid sees the knife on the ground, touches it by accident for a second. Now his prints are on the knife. Oh shit, he's guilty. Set up by that fucking piece of shit murdering dealer. It could be what happened. None of us were there. Only 3 people were there. 1 died. And 1 guy probably got the fuck out of there so he wouldn't get blamed. Yeah. Fortune, 3 concerts really in 1 year. Summer was Pulse Time in the Park. Right. Then early spring, Dre and that Snoop were kicking it off. So went to that. I mean early fall. And then some point in the winter, I attended. I didn't get in the scene yet, but I attended a Bad Brain show. Right at the tail end of 91. Yeah. So it's pretty good, man. Good opening here. Can't complain. I didn't know nothing about it yet. Pretty soon I did Murphy's Law on a regular. Or semi-regular. I saw them the next year and I got into the scene a little bit. In fact, that was a transitional time in Bad Brain's histories. Human Rights also refers to his initials as hunting rifle when he's going out with looking for the ladies. Yeah. HR was not in the house. Another guy. But he filled in nice. Yeah. We didn't care. We were seeing the legendary Bad Brains. Dr. No, Daryl Jennifer, and Earl were there. Okay, you're missing the singer, the guy that most of us came to see. New guy filled in nicely. He did the best that he could do. And the players that have been there always did a stellar job. They killed it. Okay. I mean, let's see. 2000, 9 years later, I saw the actual original guy. Oh, he probably killed it harder, but he is DHR. But they both did an amazing job. I almost remember both like it was yesterday, almost. Uh, I forget where the 2001 was, but the other one was at the Academy, which doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. I also think I also saw, I think while I was still around, the Ramones played there. I saw them. Biohazard, definitely. I'm unsure where I saw the Ramones in '93. It might have been the Academy. No idea. Haven't any idea. It's possible. I think the Academy was still pretty much around. That's where they shot the video Biohazard with Onyx. Yeah. I can report on my own behavior of missing shows, kind of being a bad punk. I don't remember what I was doing when I missed one Boston show. I must have lost my mind and fell off track. I saw like 8 others. Pretty awesome stuff. Not really my fault. I could not locate a free circle jerk show at the Vans house. That's pretty much on the Vans, not being too specific about the location. So them being bad punks, not giving us a lot of great direction on how freaking find this place. Hiding some of the details. So they were being bad punks about advertising this free show and not giving all the details. So that's on them. Yeah. Let's see other shows I missed. In the 90s, I wasn't being a good Nirvana fan. I should have seen them. Yeah, so I can report on myself not being a good Nirvana fan. And they're punk related, so there you go. Yeah, I missed out big time, and I should have gone. Just a couple opportunities I got, I should have taken one. It's just fucking gone. Yeah, because we all missed out. Well, we didn't know what would happen. But happened. Yeah. So that, what else can I report? Shows I missed that were punk related. I've missed Murphy's Law openings. So I had a bad cab driver in Sayreville. Yeah. Going to Starline Ballroom. He says GPS is broken. And then he had to call his boss, and he finally got it. And he passed the turnoff like 3 times. I'm like, how do you not know what the hell you're passing? I'm like, that was the turn? You passed that thing like 3 times. I do not know it was right there. You must be the stupidest cab driver driving today. Right. Some of the rest have been my fault getting caught at home and running late and missed Murphy's Law opening for a band. Right. That was not my fault at all the last time it happened. Good thing he wasn't so lost that I missed the Chromax too, because that would have been even worse. Well, you want to have a good, that's a good lineup. When you're like Body Count, you got a new album. You get the hardcore because everybody loves that, New Yorkers. And then you get some crossover, right? Because we're a metal band. Perfect. Yeah, and that's what Chromax are. They're my introduction to crossover world. Well, I can report on the guys that were absolute complete fucking assholes to me. I don't know if that's bad punk behavior. That's just who they are. Like the guy in that band, Harley Flanagan. Well, from what I hear, Harley was never really nice to anyone that isn't his friend. Right. Unfortunately, I'll report on a really terrible punk in a related story to Cro-Mags. It had to be like 10 years ago or something. They were having a CBGB's Fest, not under a bridge like the fest this summer. In some clubs, I forget which ones. Does not really matter, right? And I went to one night, and then I heard about the next day, and Harley was stabbed, and some other audience members, and I think some other members of the Cro-Mags. None of them were like, I died because I got stabbed. But still getting stabbed. Gotta hurt. And in that time period, John Joseph, the original singer, and Harley Forever would be on Sing Together. And this incident sparred separating. So at points, John would be on the stage by himself, and currently Harley's on the stage by himself. And before the stabbing incident, they would rock the stage together. Fortunately, we don't think that's ever going to happen because of this piece of shit fan being a bad punk and stabbing people. Violence like that should never be at any concert. Yeah, it is. All right. We're all glad no one died. That's the fallout from that. Yeah. But it separated the singers from that band. I still enjoy when either one of them rocks the stage. Just before that incident, it was so much better. They were there together. See how pieces of shit like that guy that stabbed people ruin things. Yeah. So that's more bad punk behavior. Stabbing people, not cool, violent. You see, you're dancing around in a circle and pushing people, even if you don't mean to. Sort of bad behavior. Sometimes not cool. Sometimes a fight might break out. Okay, take outside, guys. Right. Or you're leaving. Right. Or you might leave if you start a fight. Right. You're going to get kicked out. You start a fight in the middle of the pit. Not cool. Right. Stabbing somebody. Not cool. Violent. A crime. Yeah. And not cool. But, okay. More bad punk behavior. I can name more bad punk bands, maybe. What's the bunch? Yellow Card. I've heard Yellow Card. No. Helen and Bellan's favorite, Blink-182. No. But I've heard Blink-182's first album. It didn't completely suck yet. I know you're like, I liked all the small things because I wanted to get some pussy. Right? I wanted to get some wetness on my small thing. Exactly. Well, Bellan is different. Right. He was a kid, Helen too. But anybody that was like a teenager or like 20 was like, I like that song because I was trying to get some pussy. Of course you did, because who the fuck else? What guy would like that song that wasn't trying to get some? No one. Not one person. Yeah, not one. At that point, you can't say it's really pop punk. It's people that got influenced by the Descendants, punks making pop. That's what pretty much is. When it hits that line and it's getting all saturated, it doesn't even sound punk anymore. It sounds like just straight up pop. Yeah. Yeah, but that was like the 2000s. Even like Smash Mouth. Fucking hate that band, right? I like their cover of I'm a Believer. Everybody does. nobody screws up a Neil Diamond song. It's fucking possible if your band is way poppy and they kind of suck. Right. You can't fuck up a Neil Diamond. It's impossible. Not even close. All right. And that Walk on the Sun song. I think everything else is a heavy pile of fucking fiery garbage. Right. That's when it kind of like, well, probably early days before they had a record deal, they were probably punks. They just sound like a fucking punk group that's trying to be a punk group. Right. That's what they sound like. Nah. Probably way before the deal, like 5 years earlier or something. Oh, yeah, Smash Mouth. They're one of the best punk rock groups I've ever heard. 5 years later, they got a deal, everything. You heard their new single. Oh, God, it's fucking awful. What happened to them? That's what happens to NoFX and the Smash Mouth is. Right. They probably were really great punk bands when they started, when they were nothing. They're just band playing clubs. And they get that deal, and shit hits the fan. They suck. And they're popping out. Sad to me. But, that's just the reality of it all. Right, like, you look at most hair metal bands. Look at the early work, like Twisted Sister, Under the Blade. It would sound like it was an entirely different band than the band that made Stay Hungry. Absolutely different band. You'll be surprised a bit. Twisted Sister, they sound like a metal band. What? Right, then you turn on that Stay Hungry album and you're like, this can't be the same band saying, I want to rock. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But I don't think there's anything wrong with any aspect of their sound. They got with the times. Everybody's going pop. Everyone's still getting fucking laid. They're probably getting way more once they went pop. They're like, we're riding with it. Should have seen that model I fucked last night. She's got a great personality. We're dating. Let's go. Let's go. Let's have another hit. Yeah. So I can keep on getting with models. This one or another one. Let's go. That's what it is. Right. Yeah. Kind of comes with the perks. For a guy like Gene Simmons, loved dating Cher. And Cher's best friend was Diana Ross. So he moves out to her too. Yeah. I don't know what it is with females. Guys have that. You can't date my ex. I don't know what it is with females and their girlfriend. I don't know. Guys have that thing. And Paul, I'll get back to Mr. Simon. Paul still played the hits they did with Garfunkel. He did. They're part of his catalog. He has to play it. He does. Some of them require that harmony, but then again, you don't really need it either. Paul was the songwriter. It's nice. And I wish I caught when they did, like, they just pop up and did impromptu stuff live over the last time periods. Yeah. But it's hard to catch all that. It is. I might see him again one day. I haven't seen Paul Simon since then. I like the last time he was on SNL and he had like a fucking orchestra with him. It was great. I love when people branch out and do all kinds of different stuff. It keeps you coming up to listen to him. Keeps you going back. All right, before I go, other bad punks. Anybody want to come up and tell me a bad punk story if there's room for you? You don't have to. You could. All right, let's see. the people that have taken it way too far with that don't get that anti-hardcore was not screaming, not playing really fast. It was you can't slam dance to it. Like Flipper, they don't look at the blueprint. Their average song was 5 minutes. Your average hardcore song is 2 to 3. That's it. If that, like the Ramones said, pretty much. Right. Fast, timely, done. Simple. So simple. Right. And Flipper's best known song, like freaking 7 minutes, Sex Bomb. That's not hardcore. I saw CBGB's when they're trying to save it like 20 years ago. Friday night was punk night. Sunday was the hardcore thing. But that wasn't during the day. They didn't do a matinee for it. They just did it on Sunday. Old school. Right. And I'm sitting there. Nobody slam dancing. We're pogoing. Can't slam dance to it. Yet these people took it too far where there's screaming and stuff and playing fast and playing. You don't get anti-hardcore. This is like anti-music. You can hear everything Flipper said. They weren't hardcore. Nope. Most of the bands that were in San Francisco that would probably do hardcore, there's no scene. There's not even a punk scene over there. Hardcore and punk hit that zone dead last. Pretty much. Well, maybe not hardcore, but punk itself, dead last. Punk stopped in LA and said, this is the last scene in punk history. And then just like the ashes of that last stop, parked in San Francisco. And there wasn't enough in the tank to get seen. So like the Joe B. Offers and the people that made up Dead Kennedys would hang out in LA. Where the hell else are you going to hang out? That's where scene is. You got to merge yourself in there. There's a punk band called the Nuns. They probably hung out there too. And probably Flipper made their way over there. Yeah, like if you look at every stage movement thing that Jello is doing, and learn that from the guy in the Screamers. Every single one. The Screamers never really recorded. You might find on Spotify somebody got recorded a practice and probably bootlegged it and recorded a live and bootlegged it. Right. Because they made no recordings. They would do practices and they would play live, and that was about it. Right. They had a singer, then there's a drummer, and 2 guys on keyboards. That was it. It's quite a bizarre sound. Maybe you check out someday. If you're on Spotify, you can go on YouTube, look up the Screamers. I saw a documentary about them too. Pretty much. I'd see that guy move on stage, and then in the documentary, they would show Jello moving on stage. Jello be offering. Same fucking movements. Same shit. Yeah, they did a follow-up to the guy. I forget the name of the guy in the Screamers, right? And after Screamers, he kind of got out of the music business, and he became somewhat of a well-known artist. Next time I go live on here, I'll look up the Screamers. I'll get his name. In recent years, he died. I don't know if it's recent years. It could have been like 20 years ago. Who knows? Right. So you got to have 2 careers, becoming somewhat of a well-known artist and influencing every single LA punk band, anything. Pretty much. Yeah. The huge influence on the state of punk in California, and became somewhat of a well-known artist. I don't know if it was here. It might have been in England or something. Right. Being the artist. Yeah. So I kind of wish I was older, and if not in a band, I was in the LA scene to see the Screamers. That would have been cool. Yeah, that's it. And you know, one day soon, they're gonna let people see the anonymous extra listeners on X. Maybe one day we'll get to see the people that are typing. And go, oh man, he likes Mel Gibson, the actor, man. I see you hiding fucking snake, you old fuck. That's all I'll say. I bet. It's all right, Ross. You're fucking stoned. You don't have to type. I'm not going to talk shit about you. Because pretty much, if one or two people are typing, there's like 5 people in a room, you're probably too stoned to type. That's pretty much the way that goes. You never know, 10, 15 people in a room. How many betas are hiding and don't want to say anything because the minute they say something bad, oh, what's up, douche? Somebody's going to say it to them. You know it, man. Oh, hey, you fucking loser. Someone in the crowd is going to say that. That's why they don't type. Exactly. They're being bad supporters. Hiding like a beta. Yeah. Not saying hi. Even letting people there know in the room. Well, hopefully both happen at the same time. Google now lets you see who comes in the room. I'll get them. And X allows you to see anonymous listeners. Damn, we have that anonymous game down. Not anymore. Damn it. Now we'll have to make troll counts where nobody knows who we are. And then we'll listen. But anonymously in that way. Maybe not. More bad punks. Think on it. I don't know. We ran the gamut. Mr. Allen was the worst. Mr. Grissom, pretty good. Eventually, he admitted he's a rapist. Mr. Rollins has not done that. So definitely Rollins and getting paid by the Nazis. It's more of a piece of shit than Jack Grissom was. Yeah. There's only one thing I praise about Henry now that I found all that out. This record collection is fucking insane. Crazy. Oh, yeah. It's a new podcast. We'll see pictures of his stuff, talked about a little bit for a couple minutes. A new podcast called Crazy Music Recording Collections. Because there might be an episode where we look at some of his non-45s. That's just the first episode. Right? And you'll see like fucking A-Track. Holy shit. That's why. And you never know. One day, you might be seeing a video of I met somebody that's got a crazy audio tape collection. See, that's not a record collection. That's a musical recording collection. What's going to be called that? You never know. I might meet somebody that has a super rare, crazy, reel-to-reel sound collection. Yeah. Something I've never seen a lot of people with, but it's in movies like Pulp Fiction. She plays girl, dun, 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 dun. You're gonna be a woman now. The cover by fucking what was that band? Can't remember that band right now. Doesn't really matter. Mending soon, so yeah. There's all my thoughts right now. Sorry that nobody wanted to join. That doesn't always happen. Don't feel pressure to. If you want to. Right, but it was Urge Overkill now that I think about it, right? And she obviously, well, being married to a gangster, you get the kind of money for all that. Well, you need a projector with sound. Right. Yeah. And then you need all the tapes. It's going to be even harder to find. It'd probably be easier to find a projector with sound than find the reel-to-reel tapes. They're rarer than the thing that plays them. Because people have projectors all the time, and to play a movie, you need a projector with sound. Right. If you're just going to play like, oh, I've got it's a flash show, we don't need sound. So you have a projector with no sound for that purpose. But I wanted to play reel-to-reel sound, or air a movie has sound. Projector with sound. Then the reel-to-reel tapes, probably harder to find than 8-track. I've seen people go to conventions that make videos about it where people got fucking 8-tracks and shit. Go garage sales, right? Jack has a bunch of old 8-tracks. There are people with 8-tracks. I've never met one single person with reel-to-reel sound. So it's the greatest sound of all time, highest quality, and probably the rarest to find. Copies of tapes. After you find your projector with audio. Yeah. It'd be probably easier to find an 8-track player and the tapes. Even that would be a fun collection if it's real crazy to look at. That would. If you know somebody that has a crazy collection, or you meet somebody, look at the collection, make a video, commentary on it, commenting on it, have the person explaining and talking about their collection. Make a downloadable video and send it to me in DM. I'll put it in an episode. That episode comes out probably tomorrow. I say so. I got all the videos. I went to a local record store and looked at their Stones and Beatles collection that they have on rent. It's only temporary till they sell everything in their profit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you, Cosmic. No, you. No, you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sure. All right. I'm going to end it. All right. Listen, you don't have to, but, or you're somewhere, you come upon a record store, and you see absolute crazy collection. Right. You can just make the video and send it out for it. It's downloadable. All right. If they let you do that, some people don't want that at all. Advertise. That's on the owner and all that shit. All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for coming by. Hear about the worst punks, worst punk bands, and all that. Yeah, well, besides ZGL for performers and total punks takes the cake. On another end, the guy that stabbed Cro-Max members and other people takes the cake there too. Really bad fan. I mean, you're stabbing people. That's not a good fan. What piece of fucking shit. Yeah. Yeah. And Hawthorne Heights, one of the worst bands in punk history. All right, the ones that you call the flaggots, my baggots. Yeah. All right. That's right, guys. All right. Peace. No, you. Yeah, Sean, yeah, that's right. I'm Riz Biatz. Why, thank you. Yeah, that's right. No, you.